Alrighty, everybody. How are we doing today? We having a good day? I hope so. But what's going on, everybody? Crazy Dog back with my Yankees series recap and my Nationals series preview, as well as got a little something to say about a certain someone who decided to open up his mouth and talk about my freaking baseball team. But anyways, before I get into that, let's talk about this Yankees series. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it because say that there was a lot of shenanigans that went down in this series. A lot of shenanigans. Big time. This was a very unserious series for the Guardians. So, anyways, first game of the series, we had our man on the mound, we had our ace, we had our guy, Shane Bieber on the mound, and the way it goes is when you have Shane Bieber on the mound, you always have a chance to win, as long as James Karinchak is serious. And, well, I'll get into him in a minute. So, anyways, the Biebs went out there, and after that first inning, because it was kind of iffy with him in the first inning, gave up a couple runs. He was solid the rest of the way. 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts. He has an ERA of 2.37. Yeah, that was classic Biebs. That's what you love to see as a Guardians fan. You love to see classic Biebs, Ace Bieber. You love to see it. Now on the hill for the Yankees, they had Domingo Germán, who I remember when he first came up, when he first started with the Yankees, he was really good. And lately he's been mid. And call him Domingo Germán. But yeah, 3 innings, 2 hits, one earned run, 2 runs, 1 earned, 5 walks. Yikes. He has a 5.87 ERA. So yeah, he got rocked pretty good in the walk department. And that just goes to show you that we were doing really good at drawing walks, working counts, really putting him in bad positions. It just sucks we couldn't score more runs. But hey, three is usually you have the Beebs, right? So the guards went out there, they scored 3 runs. They gave up 2 in the first because, of course, Bieber was kind of shaky. But after that, we responded with 3 runs, one in the second, the fourth, and the seventh, courtesy of Mike Zunino. Look in the wrong section. So, yeah, Will Brandon got us on the board first. Uh, well, bottom of the first anyway. um, 2-1 Yankees. Will Brennan sack fly. Sack flies are very underrated. People hate on them. They're good stuff though, Yeah, you're getting an out, but you're scoring a run. You still get that RBI. Cut the lead in half. Bottom of the fourth, Mike Zunino with a double, and he tied the game. And he honestly could have given us a bigger lead. I'll get into that in a minute too. But bottom 7, Josh Naylor, sack fly again. We have mastered the art of the sack fly. Very impressive stuff out of him there. Sack fly by Naylor, scores the run, made it 3-2. And then top of the 8th, we had probably one of the most, typical, I guess, Guardians outings by James Karinchak, as he gives up a leadoff triple because Miles Straw tries to be, the hero. He tries to be Kenny Lofton and make an insane catch in center field. Problem was, he was a little off on catching the ball. Like his glove was right here, and the ball was right here when it landed. He was like a few inches shy of making an insane catch. Unfortunately, the ball just got away from him, ran to damn near the center field wall, and it was a triple for Gleyber Torres. And at that point, I was thinking, oh God, here we go again. This is really gonna happen again. Karinchak already cost Bieber 2 wins this year. Was he going to cost him a third? No, because believe it or not, James Karinchak locked in after that moment, and he proceeded to strike out, I think, 2 of the next 3 batters. I give credit. He locked it down. He was fantastic after that. He allowed the triple to Glaber, hopped out Aaron Judge, which is very hard to do. Although with how hard he swings, I mean, you gotta get him on the edge of the bat. You gotta be careful with him. But he got lucky there. I think Judge check swung and the ball went. Yeah. And then Anthony Rizzo and Giancarlo Stanton struck out. Balls moment by James Karinchak. And of course, after the fact, this dude was acting like a madman, and he had a right to. You know, give up a leadoff triple, did not allow the run to score. I'm sure Miles Straw was feeling pretty good after that. Because I bet you he would have felt horrible if that run would have scored. Because essentially he's the reason why. Because he tried to make a dive on a ball that was a little too far away. So, bottom of the eighth comes up. We have a chance to add some runs. Will Brennan drew a walk after Josh Bell did typical Josh Bell and struck out. And he's been so bad lately. But then Mike Zunino was like this close to possibly breaking the game open. But unfortunately, the the auxiliary scoreboard on the left, for those who've seen Progressive Field, there's like an auxiliary scoreboard on the 19-foot wall, you know? And there's a cage in front of it to protect it from getting battered with baseballs when people hit it over there. And the ball somehow, some way, hit the top of the auxiliary scoreboard, like where the padding meets the actual, like the video board itself, and it slipped in between the cage and the actual video board. I ain't never seen that before in my life. Like that's crazy. I've never seen someone do that. And unfortunately no runs scored because of that. It's a typical Guardians luck because right after that Straw struck out and then Quan grounded out. Typical. And then Clase came in and he was hard as nails. Granted, his velocities dropped big time, but he was still solid. Got Calhoun to strike out, LeMahieu grounded out, and Cordero struck out. So solid outing by Clase. He locks down the save. And in case you didn't hear it from before, in terms of how the pitchers did today, or game one, Herman went 3 innings, two hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 5 walks. Bieber, on the other hand, like I said, he was solid. 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, 3 walks, 4 Ks. 2.37 ERA for the Beebs. So you're probably like, okay, we got the series. First game of the series down. We won the game. We're feeling good. What's next? Oh, we have to face Garrett Cole. Now, usually I'd be like, okay, should be a fun game. Until you look at the pitching matchup and you realize we had Hunter Gaddis on the mound. Early on to start, Hunter was good. He was like he was game. And then they figured him out. Like second, third time through the order. I think it was like second time through the order, really. They started to figure him out. And they scored 5 runs on us in the third. We were up 2-1, looking good, feeling good. And yeah, it all fell apart. It all fell apart. Jose doubled, scored a run. Naylor sack fly, scored a run. That's a thing we're going to be hearing a lot of. Naylor sack fly. Like he's hitting it hard enough to get it to the outfield, but not hitting it hard enough to get it out of the park. And so we took the lead early, 2-0. Trevino singled in a run in the top of the second, like right after we scored, made it 2-1. Top of the third, Calhoun singled in a run, made it 2-2. And then Oswaldo Cabrera sack fly made it 3-2. And at that point, it was a wrap. I was like, okay. Uh-huh. I didn't think of it at the time. But little did we know, that was a wrap. It was a wrap after that point because Franchic Cordero, of all people, comes up, hits a 3-run blast, and it was 6-2. And I was like, yep, we're done. We're done. And then, they just kept adding more and more runs to it until eventually they scored 11 runs. And we lose 11-2. And Hunter Gaddis, yeah, that was a stinker from him. It wasn't a disaster class. It was a stinker / disaster. It was like borderline stinker into disaster class, kind of. 3 innings, 8 hits, 8 runs, 8 earned. That's a lot of eights. 2 walks, 3 Ks, and a homer. 8.53 ERA. And of course, to make things worse, we faced Garrett Cole, and he was solid. He essentially did what Bieber did. 7 innings, 5 hits, 5 runs, I wish. 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, 2 walks, 3 Ks. He pretty much mimicked Bieber's stat line. saw Bieber do what he did, and he was like, "Watch this! I'm gonna do the exact same thing." And the thing is, too, he also gave up only 2 runs, but his offense woke up, taking advantage of a pretty subpar minor league pitcher. Yep. So we lose the game 11-2. Cole gets the win. He's 3-0 with a 1.40 ERA. Gaddis took the loss. He's 0-1, 8.53 ERA. And I forgot to talk about game 1, but the Beebs finally got his first win of the year because he wasn't screwed over by James Karinchak. He's 1-0 with a 2.37 ERA. Ian Hamilton, former Guardian for like a few months after we traded for him. We traded Sandy Leone for him, which is kind of weird. Okay. So yeah, Ian Hamilton took the loss. He's 0-1, 3.18 ERA, and Clase finally got his third save of the year, 4.50 ERA. That ERA is not good for Emmanuel. I don't know what happened to him. His velocity went. He was cooking 100 all year last year. Now all of a sudden he can barely top 99. Like, I think something's wrong with our closer. I think something's wrong. He can't even hit 100 anymore. You know? What is this? He was known for his 100-mile-per-hour cutter, and now he's barely topping out at 99. Tito, I think something's wrong with our closer. Very wrong, actually. I mean, actually, if you look at all of our pitchers, it seems like their velocity just drops out of nowhere. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know, but it's gonna start getting concerning when he can barely top 100. I'm gonna, when it's June and it's scorching hot out and this dude's barely topping 100, it's like, yeah, something's really wrong. Something's really wrong with him. It's not just, oh yeah, it's normal. No, it's not normal for your velocity to drop. It's normal like if you have like a shoulder surgery or an arm injury, you're coming off of that like Bieber was. It's normal for your velocity to kind of fall off after that. But this dude's barely topping 100. Has he thrown any 100-mile-per-hour pitches all year? I don't think so. I don't think he has. That's very concerning. So Bieber got the win, thank God. And he finally got over that schneid. I was waiting for him to literally have his third straight win blown by James Karinchak, but that was good that we were able to win that game. Now we talk about yesterday's game, and when I say there was shenanigans, there was a ton of shenanigans. And it literally started in the very first inning. Bottom of the first, Josh Naylor's up. You have runners on base, looking to add some run, get some runs in there, do some damage against, Clark Schmidt. And, Naylor hits a little blooper to Aaron Hicks. Now, Aaron Hicks was featured pretty heavy in the first inning and also double off Jose Ramirez, who thought the ball was going to get down. Well, after a closer look, it was revealed that the ball actually dropped out of the glove. So originally, we didn't think Tito challenged it. But after further review, it looked like he did. He immediately got the attention of the umpires who acknowledged him. They saw that he was looking for a challenge. I think they huddled up, they discussed it, and, they were talking about it. And Aaron Boone was so convinced that Tito did not get the challenge in time. He was out there arguing for like a good 10 minutes with the umpires. He got yanked out. He got tossed. This dude probably came back out onto the field, 2 or 3 more times after he got tossed for some reason. I'm surprised he didn't just get straight up fined for that. Like once you get tossed, you're gone. You can't be coming back out onto the freaking playing surface. What are you doing, Aaron? Freaking jabroni? Come on now. So anyways, they review it. They rule that, oh yeah, it was not a catch. We scored a run, runners on base as well, and we're looking good. So Josh Bell comes up, and I'm not expecting anything out of him. He goes out and gets an RBI single, and it's 2-0 Guardians, and we're looking great. Bottom of the third comes up, and Ahmed did the thing. He hit a homer. I know, I was shocked. I was like, no way this dude hit a homer. No way. He hits a freaking home run to right center field, opposite field, like he always usually does. It was 102 off the bat, 387 on the distance, launch angle of 26 degrees. It was beautiful to see, considering how bad he's been at times. It's good to see him actually do something good for once. So it's 3-0 Guardians. We're feeling good. But little did we know the shenanigans were only just beginning. Because a little bit later, the Yankees would respond in the fifth, thanks to a base hit. Base hit, nothing too crazy. Higashioka singled to center field. Miles Straw fields it. He throws it to Jimenez, who on the relay tries to get it to home plate. But Larry Vanover, the head umpire, was in the way, and the ball hit him, and I think in the head or something, and hopefully he's all right. I think he was sent to the hospital. Hopefully he's good, because that was a pretty hard throw that he took to the dome, and that cost us 2 runs. So it's 3-2, and we're like, okay. And then, of course, Franchi Cordero tied the game in the top of the 7th, and it's like, okay, yep. And then top of the 9th, Oswaldo Cabrera gave him the lead on a single, and that was it in terms of scoring. As far as how the Guardians did, and in the bottom of the 9th, it was pretty much a typical Guardians. Teased us all as they had the bases loaded in the bottom of the 9th. This is something that you would see in a movie. Bottom of the 9th comes up, they bring in their closer, and of course, this bozo Josh Bell grounds out like a bozo, like a freaking loser. This dude's playing like a bum right now. Brennan got hit by a pitch, and then Straw grounded into a force out. And from that point on, the Guardians would get a walk from Oscar Gonzalez and Stephen Kwan. So look at this. Bases loaded, and you got Ahmed at the plate. And it's like, that one of the best players in your franchise's history is waiting on deck. And you're like, please, Ahmed, just get Jose to the dish. What does this bozo do? Strikes out. He struck at a pitch that was outside the zone. I think he swung at like ball 3 and 4. I swear. If he just had a regular trigger finger, I'm literally wanted to punch I wanted to punch a hole in my wall when I saw this loser come up to the plate. And, he swung at 3 straight pitches that were borderline outside the zone. And because he didn't swing at the first pitch, which was way outside. And he swung at a pitch later on at almost the exact same spot. That would have been ball 4. Because he was pretty up in the count, 2-1. He swung at 2 straight pitches that were outside the zone. They probably would have been balls. He would have walked. Tie game. Jose Ramirez at the dish. Oh, could you imagine how that would have went? Oh my God. No one Jose. He probably would have grounded out or something. But still, imagine he would have hit a grand slam. Oh, baby. Even a regular fly out. No, not a fly out, but a grounder. Fly ball. A gapper. We win the game. If only Bell and Straw didn't get out, then I would have been fine with whatever happened. As long as you don't strike out, right? Right? Yeah. But no, what would have probably happened was if Straw would have got on base, that loser freaking Ahmed would have grounded into a double play. It would have been even worse. Freaking loser, dude. I don't like Ahmed at all. I do not like Ahmed at all. Not one bit. Now, what's really funny is, game's over. I go on Twitter to read some tweets and stuff, and I see our friend Dashy. Yeah, Dashy. Dashy Sports. Now, I was actually going to make a video on this last night, but in the end, I decided, nah, I'm not going to waste my time. Why should I talk about this guy? So this dude goes on Twitter. All right, he's talking about the Guardians will never learn. He even made a video about us. He made a video about us, the Guardians, talking about how we will never learn. When you watch that video, you're probably thinking, what the heck's he talking about? Is he talking about our disgusting brand of baseball? Because I know a lot of people like the way we play baseball. They don't like the small ball approach. They like bombs. They don't like, little doinkers and freaking bloopers. No. No, they love dingers. And we're not a big dinger team right now. We have some boomers on the team, like guys that can hit big bombs, but they're not hitting them right now. You know? They're just not flying out of the yard. We'll see how things go by the end of the year, but yeah, we're not a big dinger team right now. So this dude literally made a video talking about the Guardians team itself, the Guardians Twitter admin. Yeah, the person who runs the Guardians Twitter account. I guess you could say he was just talking about the Twitter account in general. But for those who didn't see it, the Guardians Twitter account posted on their lineup tweet talking about the Yankees residing in Queens. Just trolling Yankees fans like he's been doing it for the past couple of years. It's like a running joke that he has. So cringe, but it's whatever. We don't really care. It agitates Yankees fans and everything, but whatever. We don't really give a crap. But this dude had the nerve to freaking make a 5-minute, 45-second video talking about the Guardians Twitter account. Like, what? This dude made a 5-minute video talking about the Guardians Twitter account. That's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Low key. You know? And the funniest part about it is, too, I didn't even see the video until after my stream last night. I wrapped up the stream. I closed my streaming software. I was gonna, listen to some music and relax before bed. I go to check my YouTube sub feed, and boom, there it is. I see the title, The Cleveland Guardians Will Never Learn. And believe it or not, I did watch a little bit of that video. I watched bits and pieces of it just to see what he had to say. And the look on my face when I heard him talk about the Cleveland Guardians Twitter account, I was like, no way this dude really thought it was necessary to make a 5-minute video talking about the Guardians Twitter account. I mean, there's better things that you could do with your time, but he wants to waste his time making a video about a troll job that the Guardians Twitter account did. Like, wow. Interesting use of your time, buddy. Now, what really got to me, though, was at the end of the video, he talked about how he hopes that the next team that we face, the Nationals, by the way, I'll get to that series in a minute, but he said that he hopes the Nationals sweep us. Okay. That's interesting. On some petty behavior, huh? You're one of those people, huh? You know, I hope your next team sweeps you. And it's like, but yet you look at the Reds' schedule, and believe it or not, they could get swept by their next two opponents, the Phillies and the Rays. So, Dashy, all I'm going to say is this, buddy. I doubt you're watching. Hey, I might make a solo video on this in general, but it might not happen. Probably not going to happen. Because honestly, I'm not going to waste my time, you know? Because believe it or not, I actually did have a video ready to go talking about this, but in the end, I was like, I'm not going to waste my time. Why am I even doing this? Talking about the damn Reds here. The Reds. Yeah, believe it or not, guys, a Reds fan interjected himself in a Guardians troll job of the Yankees. It makes sense. Because I can't figure out a way that it makes sense. A Reds fan having an issue with a Guardians fan trolling Yankees fans. Okay, that makes no sense at all. For real. Yeah, he said that he hopes the Nationals sweep us. I don't think that'll happen, but you never know with this team. I'll get into that series in a minute. But yeah. So the Reds got the Phillies and the Rays coming up. So all I'm gonna say is, Dashy, do us all a favor and focus on your own team. And we'll see you in August, buddy. Because I believe that's when we play. But yeah, we'll see you later on this season for your annual ass kicking. Okay? All right. Because he's probably gonna bring up the Ohio Cup. Whatever you do, Dashy, don't look at the Ohio Cup stats. It's not gonna please you. Being as you haven't won the Ohio Cup since 2014. It's been all Guardians. It's either been all Guardians or it's been a tie, which means that the trophy stays with the Guardians. So, not the rules. I don't make the rules. It's the way it is, you know? But, anyways, let's get into talking about this National Series, all right? So, today we have an off day, which I know we desperately needed it. And we look at tomorrow. First game of the series will be Cal Quantrill against Williams. I believe, is this Devin Williams? Trevor Williams. I was like, Devin? Devin's a freaking reliever for the Brewers. What am I talking about? No, Trevor Williams, 1-1, 4.35 ERA. He has 7 Ks. Cal Quantrill coming off probably his better start in a while. 0-1 with a 6.52 ERA. He has 6 strikeouts. Against Cal, they only have 2 players who've played against him, and that, of course, was Abrams. That's Abrams, I believe, from the Padres. C.J. Abrams. He was acquired in the Soto trade last year, the trade deadline. He's 0-2 against Cal in his career. And Candelario, who, of course, played with the Tigers previously. He's batting 125 with 8 at-bats, no RBIs or homers. Now, against Williams, Josh Bell has actually had success against him. 8 at-bats, batting 250. I believe that means he's 2 for 8, I believe. I'm pretty sure. Because 4 for 8 would be he's batting 500. 1 homer, 1 RBI, and he's actually the most successful guy against Trevor. Jose is 0 for 5, and Ahmed is 143 average and 7 at-bats. So we'll see how that goes tomorrow. Now we go to game 2 of the series in Washington, of course. It will be Zach Plazak with a 9 ERA against Chad Kuhl. Wait, are the Nationals like trying to be the freaking Pirates or something? They literally have 2 former Pirate pitchers. Plazak against Kuhl. Neither one has a win or a loss. Plazak, 9 ERA, Kuhl 8.10 ERA, so they're kind of similar in that department too. Plazak has 7 Ks, and again, he's coming off probably his best start of the year. And Williams, 7 Ks as well. So 6 and 7 Ks, oh no, 8 and 7 Ks. Why did it flip? See, 7 Ks apiece for those two. Okay. So we have a legit chance to maybe take 2. And then we go to the final game of the series. I believe it is another 4:10 start. Freaking MLB.com is freaking tripping out right now. Hang on. There we go. All right, so 1:35 p.m. It'll be the Beebs. 1-0, 2.37 ERA, 14 Ks against Patrick Corbin. 1-2, 7.71 ERA. And by the way, if you're curious, how have we done against Kuhl? I mean, we haven't really done any better against Kuhl, as only Ahmed Rosario has an RBI against him, and Jimenez has faced him 1 time. He's batting 1,000. Yeah. So we've barely faced him. Now against, of course, Plazak, Candelario faced him 19 times with an RBI, batting 158. Chavis has faced him too, but he's 0 for 2. Now against Mr. Patrick Corbin, remember when he was a free agent? Man, everyone was looking to get him. He goes to Washington and he turns into a scrub. But against Bieber, Candelario faced him 29 times, batting 138, no RBIs or homers. Chavis, 2 at-bats, no average. Obviously, he's 0 for 2. No homers, no RBIs, obviously. And then you look on the other side against Corbin, Josh Bell, 3 dingers and 10 at-bats, batting 300, 5 RBIs, which is insane. And then Ahmed Rosario, 2 dingers, 2 RBIs, and 28 at bats, batting 107. Of course, Ahmed, former Met, faced Corbin plenty of times in the NL. And yeah, Jimenez and Rosario each have 5 and 3 at bats, but they haven't done anything. So, Josh Bell, let's hope you lock in this series. Imagine this is the series where Josh Bell takes off. I would personally love it. If Josh Bell has like a monster series where he hits a couple dingers, he's getting runs everywhere, that would be great. Considering, according to the historical stats, he's had success against both, I believe, Cool and Corbin. And we'll see about Trevor Williams, but he's had success against these pitchers. So we'll see what happens. Now, knowing us, he's going to go out here and just hit grounders all day. It's like, buddy, lift the ball a little bit. Put the ball in the outfield, man. Damn. You ain't going to hit dingers hitting grounders, man. What are you doing? Now, after that, we actually go to Detroit, so that should be fun. But I'll talk about that series later. But yeah, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this one, guys. Sorry about the technical difficulties earlier. But yeah, hopefully we can go out there and get a series win. I feel like a sweep could happen, but I'm going to once again say 2 out of 3 is probably going to happen. I would love to take 2 out of 3 here. If we're going to lose the game, it's going to be to either Williams or Cool. I don't see us losing to Patrick Corbin. I just don't. So that means we're probably going to lose to Corbin now. Of course. But hopefully we at least take 2 of 3. And then we got Detroit. So we got some games coming up that we can help get our guys on the right track and, fatten up our record a little bit. That's what we've been good at. Fattening up on beating the crappy teams. Got to start doing that, So we'll see what happens. But with that being said, guys, shout out to everyone. I'll see you all tomorrow night for the 8th place games in the Eastern and Western conferences. Maybe since I won't watch the Guardians game, maybe they'll have a freaking offensive just outburst. That'd be great if they do that. That'd be wonderful. The one game I don't really watch and they freaking go on an offensive outburst. I'd take it all day long. But with that being said, guys, I'm Crazy Dog. Let's go, Guardians, and I'll see you tomorrow. Unless something else happens here, but I'll see you guys tomorrow. Go Guards!